no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's show presented by Manscaped. If you're looking for the best male grooming products out there to make sure that everything downstairs is looking A-OK, go to manscaped.com/Raiders. 20% off, free shipping. That link is in the comments, and it's going to be in the description. So what are we going to be talking about on today's show? I'm going to tell you some players that could ultimately get cut for the Raiders, and I'm going to tell you a player to keep an eye on that potentially they could sign to help replace Trent Brown, and Mike Mayock. I think he's got his eyes on two players today. First off, though, the Raiders have been busy, man. Like, my life has been busy. I haven't slept much. I've been trying to keep up to date on what the Raiders are doing. But here are the Raiders' cuts this month. Gabe Jackson, Richie Incognito, LaMarcus Joyner. You can see the numbers down below. That's how much money they save. I've been giving you guys over-the-cap numbers. I don't know what's going on in the over-the-cap. I think maybe they've had a few too many drinks. It's all good. So we're going to start looking at some Spotrac numbers. So this is how much the Raiders save according to Spotrac. So how about this? I want you guys to take a guess on who will be the next Raiders player to get cut. We predicted that LaMarcus Joyner was going to get, booted. We predicted that probably a guy like Trent Brown was going to get cut or traded. Richie Incognito has also been featured on the show. But who is going to be the next player to get cut? It's going to come up right now. I'm starting to think that it's going to be Carl Nassib. Is he going to be the next player that gets cut? I can't give it 4 Chucky heads, but I am going to give it 3 Chucky heads. If you were to ask me, does he get outright cut? I might actually give that one 4 Chucky heads, but we're going to stick here with this. Raiders cutting Carl Nassib next. The report is from Vic Tafer, and he says that the Raiders will likely move on from Carl Nassib. Remember, they signed him to a 3-year, $25 million deal last offseason. This dude made $16 million guaranteed. I'm simply telling you this. The only way that Carl Nassib remains a Las Vegas Raider is if he can figure out a way to restructure his deal. Because if you don't restructure your deal, they're going to get rid of him. There is a 0% chance they're going to pay this guy over $9 million. If you cut him, sure, you're going to have to eat, I believe it's like $5.45 million in dead cap, but you can also save $3.7 mil. I'll take that $3.7 mil, and I'll invest that into, Richie Incognito's contract. I'll use that money to bring back Denzel Good. No disrespect to Nassib. I liked watching him at Penn State, but he was more of a fit with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that 3-4. He was never a fit with the Raiders. Plus, he wasn't very good at practice, which is something that is very important to John Gruden. He got benched twice last year for not showing up at practice. So here's right now what the Raiders' defensive line depth chart looks like. Obviously, if they decide to move on from Carl Nassib, I am definitely a little bit more curious to see what they do with certain guys like a Tack McKinley, like a Vic Beasley. Could they potentially move on from a guy like Arden Key, who's going to make $2.83 million? Because if you move on from him, you save over $2 million. But the bottom line is this. We're talking about cuts because the Raiders have been hella active. So I'm curious here. Should the Raiders cut Carl Nassib? I want you to give me a Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. We got 913 people watching us live here, which I appreciate. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do. I'm super hyped. If you're not watching us live, we go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and we have the best Raiders coverage on the internet. Plus, it's free. I mean, I'm never going to make you guys go through a pay site. I'm not going to make you pay $1, $10 a month. If you want a super chat, they're always appreciated. But if you're looking for free Raiders videos every single day for the next 365 days, then go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe. We predicate ourselves on being not only informational and factual, but also first. I woke up bright and early this morning, and I made sure that y'all had this video out because I predicate myself on being able to keep you guys updated. So just another reason to subscribe. But I do have a little bit of a favor to ask, so I posted this video here on my Instagram account, okay? It's basically, you'll see it says Raiders Report Roast of Trent Brown. It's like a 3-minute cut, and I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I really tried to lay into Trent Brown a little bit. I was pretty frustrated considering the fact that everything that this dude has done to the Raiders, done to Raider Nation the last year and a half. So what I want you to do is go to my Instagram, at Mitchell Renz 365. I want you to find this video, and I want you to post it on your Instagram story. If you want to tag me, at Mitchell Renz 365, I am going to share every single one. I want this thing to go viral. I want this thing to go everywhere. I kind of actually want Trent Brown to see it. So Seriously, help me out. Go give it a share on Instagram. Let's get into the next story here. We're going to talk about Mo Hurst, and could the Raiders actually move on from Mo? I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking, which means it's like a 50-50% chance for those of you out there that are new to the channel. So his cap hit this upcoming season, $2.26 million. If cut, the Raiders can save $2.18 million. He is entering the 4th year with the Raiders, and if it was up to me, I would not cut Mo. I like Mo a lot, and I get the idea that he was a 5th-round pick. But the reason why he fell so far in the draft is because of his heart condition, and it kind of went down there. If you would have just said, though, okay, from a talent-based perspective, I actually thought he was a 1st, 2nd-round pick. But for whatever reason, the Raiders are not using Mo Hurst, and you're looking at a football team right now that continues to try to shave money. They continue to try to figure out a way that, hey, how can we build around our defensive line? So when you look at his numbers last year, 27 tackles, half a sack. Oh, man, half a sack. 3 tackles for loss, 0 forced fumbles, and 0 fumble recoveries. Obviously, the numbers aren't very good. But the other reason why I'm starting to think that this actually might happen is because the Raiders have put other players above Mo Hurst. I mean, they made it a bigger point to bring back David Irving. Was it still a cheap contract, and was it a deal based on incentives? Yes, it absolutely was. But David Irving, he's going to come back. He's going to get snaps. They're going to bring back Kendall Vickers. And do I think Mo Hurst is more talented than Irvin and Kendall Vickers? Yes, I absolutely do. However, Mike Mayock did not draft Mo Hurst. John Gruden did not draft Mo Hurst. So, like, when you really think about all these snaps here, you know, they continue to go down and down. Actually, Gruden did draft them. So, in 2018, he played in 46% of the Raiders' snaps on defense, 472. 2019, 50% of the snaps, 522. And then a huge dip down. So, as soon as Rod Marinelli got the new defensive line gig, you really saw the numbers go down. 277 snaps, only 25%. So if you're really thinking about who are some potential players the Raiders could cut to save an extra $2 million, I don't think it's going to fully happen. All I'm saying is this: surprise cuts happen every offseason. I just want you to think about Mo Hurst. Plus, games played and then games started. 2018, 13 with 10 starts. 16, 4 starts. Last season, only 3 starts. So the snaps, the games started, they continue to go down and down for Mo Hurst. So let me know here, what do you guys think about Mo? C for cut, K for keep. Should the Raiders cut Mo Hurst? I am going to stick here, and I'm going to say that I want them to keep Mo. I actually think that he's one of the better defensive tackles on the team. I actually thought he was better than Jonathan Hankins last year. I thought he was better than just about every single DT they had, minus Clee when he would play on the inside. So let me know. C for cut, K for keep. Should the Raiders cut Mo Hurst? Something that y'all should cut is your downstairs, because if you're working with George W., get rid of it. 20% off and free shipping with the Perfect Package. Why is it called the Perfect Package? Simple. If you use the Lawnmower 3.0, if you use the ball deodorant, if you use the ball toner, it's going to look absolutely perfect down there. And I won't look at it for you, but you can get your wife, you can get your girlfriend to look at it for you. This thing has got an 8-hour battery life. You can use it in the shower. It fits great in your hand, and if it fits great in your hand, it's going to fit even better in hers because it's nice and smooth. You get free boxers and a traveling case, all for free in the Perfect Package. When I do these shows here, I get energized. I get excited. I sweat. You know what doesn't sweat? My balls, because I got ball toner, I got ball deodorant. If I could prove it to you, believe it, baby, I would. But nobody wants to see that, and I'm pretty sure if I showed y'all my Chucky head, well, the show would get canceled. So go to, manscaped.com/Raiders, 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. One more time, you can find that link in the comments. It is also in the description. There's no more excuses out there, or else your girlfriend or wife, she might cut you. All right, let's talk about Kyle Long. With a name like Kyle Long, he definitely uses Manscaped. Are the Raiders interested in potentially bringing in Kyle Long? I'll actually give this one 3 Chucky heads, and I think it's pretty likely. Does that mean that I think it's pretty likely that they sign him? No. I simply think it means that they saw the news that Kyle Long's going to come out of retirement, and he wants to play again, and that he's in good shape, and the Raiders are like, okay, I'm interested in that. I think he could play offensive tackle. He could play guard, which right now is a major need for this team considering the fact that they are lacking offensive line depth. Do I believe that the Raiders bring back Richie Incognito? Yes, I do. Do I believe that they bring back Denzel Good? Yes, I do. However, you're still got plenty of holes on the offensive line, and you're looking for depth. The other reason why that I know that the Raiders are going to be probably interested in Kyle Long, I mean, this might sound crazy, but imagine an offensive lineman that was good, okay, had an injury, retired 1 year, and then signed with the Raiders. Does that sound familiar? If it doesn't, it should. It's Richie Incognito. So you already have a sample size where the Raiders took a player who battled injuries, took a year off, came back, and was very good. I actually think Kyle Long, throughout his entire career, when he's been healthy, he's been very good. The issue has been he just hasn't been healthy recently. So if he personally feels that taking off time helped him get back into shape, I'm listening. So in 2020, retired. Then this is how many games he played, okay? You got 4, 8, 10, and then 8. Not really good. Not really what you're looking for. But what about his first 3 years in the National Football League? This dude was on the field, and in his first 3 years, he made the Pro Bowl. The other reason why, I mean, Long, it's a connection there. Obviously, his dad, Howie, is one of the greatest Raiders of all time. So if I'm Kyle and I can't go back to the Bears, the team that I played with my entire career, why not potentially go to the Raiders? Why not go to the team and you could retire the same way that your dad did? I personally think that would be awesome. So should the Raiders go out and sign Kyle Long, S for sign, P for pass? If you're going to type S for sign, I want like a 1, maybe 2 year, really short-term deal. The other reason why I think this does make sense is because the Raiders, I think, could get him for maybe like $2 million, maybe $3 million, a cheaper type of deal, which is definitely important for a team that doesn't really want to spend big on offense. They want to spend more on the defensive side. The only thing that scares the hell out of me, though, is if we got to deal with, I don't know, Sam Young playing right tackle. That's not good. So you really only have Colt Miller at the left side. You have Rodney Hudson, and then everybody else, realistically, is a big question mark. John Simpson, Denzel Good. I mean, you could see Simpson play right guard. You could see Denzel Good play right guard if they end up bringing him back. But you have just so many players that are just, you don't really quite know what you're getting out of. And sure, Kyle Long is a question mark. There's no doubt about it. But if you can get him for a cheap contract, and if he can give you a solid 12, 13, 14 games, I actually think that that's pretty well worth it. So keep in mind, Kyle Long, do you want him to come to the Raiders? Let me know in the comments section. Let's start talking now about the NFL draft, and Mike Mayock, he is at Northwestern's Pro Day today. So there was a few Pro Days that went down, and we'll go through all the Pro Days that are ending up happening this week. But the biggest reason why I think he's there is to visit 2 players and see 2 players very closely. The first guy is Rashawn Slater, offensive lineman from Northwestern. Sure, he opted out of the 2020 season, but if you're looking for a player who played really well against Chase Young in 2019, Slater did exactly that. He definitely has some length concerns, which some teams might view him as a guard or even a center. I think he's more built to be a guard personally. He could still play offensive tackle, but the bottom line is this. If Slater is there to the Raiders at 17, which, let me just say, I do think would actually be a little bit of a surprise. I see Slater going before the Raiders pick at 17, but if he does fall there, he could definitely fill a need at guard. He could definitely fill a need potentially at offensive tackle. So, like, if he's there, I know we are always sitting here talking about who could the Raiders draft at, 17, defense. If Rashawn Slater is there at 17, do not be surprised whatsoever if the Raiders scoop him up and put him instantly in that starting position, whether it's guard or at right tackle. Some other offensive draft targets that the Raiders are going to have on their big board. Tevin Jenkins, he's number 2 behind Slater. Technically, Penei Sewell's number 1, but there's a 0% chance that he's going to go to the Raiders. Tevin Jenkins also had a Skype meeting or whatever virtual meeting, thank you, Sam, virtual meeting with the Raiders. Cosme, Jalen Mayfield, Alex Leatherwood, also some potential names. Another person that I know Mayock is going to be looking at very, very closely is Greg Newsome II. I personally believe that he's going to be the 4th cornerback selected. He's going to obviously be behind J.C. Horn. He's going to be behind Caleb Farley and then Surtain, right? But Newsome could be a player that the Raiders could be looking at in the second round, pick number 48. If they do this, he's going to start over Damon Arnett because I'm telling you right now, he's a lot better than Damon Arnett. Sure, he's a little bit skinny, but he's going to be able to fill out into his body, I think. 6'1", 180 pounds. He's pretty long, pretty lanky, and I really do believe that he would be a better option at corner. The other issue with this would be is this. Let's say you would go offensive tackle like a Slater. You go with Greg Newsome. Well, you still need some edge rushers there. So we'll see what the Raiders ultimately end up doing, but I did want to bring up that Mike Mayock is at Northwestern's Pro Day today, and he decided to go there instead of going to Kansas State, which, no offense to my boss Brett, makes some sense. And then Wisconsin Whitewater, another player to keep in mind from Wisconsin Whitewater, Quinn Miners, who's a guard/center as well, who I think could actually get drafted in round 2. But let's look at some other pro days for this upcoming week. Arkansas, Marshall, Maryland, Northern Illinois, Wisconsin. There's just not too many intriguing players, honestly, from these teams here. But a day that I do want you all to keep in mind is Thursday, March 11th. Why? John Gruden has just always loved drafting Clemson players. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for Clemson. Definitely going to be a pro day to watch. Nevada, New Mexico, no disrespect to y'all. I'm not going to pay attention to you. Texas is going to be another school definitely to pay attention to. So Thursday is a very, very big day. What about on Friday? You got Arkansas State, North Dakota State, so watch out for an offensive tackle from North Dakota State Raidons. Oklahoma also has a lot of solid prospects as well. So the top 2 days for pro days that I want you to be watching for, Thursday, Friday, and if you have any updates whatsoever, I promise I'm going to keep you updated here on the Raiders Report and on my Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. So out of showing you all those days, okay, which pro day excites you the most this week? Is it Clemson? Is it Oklahoma? Is it Texas? Is it, I don't know, Northwestern? Is it Kansas State? Go down in the comments and let me know. Producer Sam saying Wisconsin Whitewater. WW, throw it in the comments section. Which pro day excites you the most this week?